A vicious bully suddenly struck a 78-year-old widow across the face, so hard that she collapsed onto the diner's tile floor. The place was full, yet not a single person dared to move. Everyone sat frozen, their eyes wide, their breaths caught in their throats, terrified to speak or even blink. The bully stood over her, grinning like he owned the whole town, convinced he was some kind of unstoppable ruler whose cruelty no one would challenge. But in that moment, he made the biggest mistake of his life. He had no clue that her son, a Navy SEAL, was only seconds away from stepping inside with his loyal canine partner right beside him. Before we begin, don't forget to hit like, repost, or share, and subscribe. And I'm really curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. Back to the story. The diner door swung open with a sharp chime. Jack Hale walked in wearing a simple gray hoodie, jeans and boots, dusty from travel. His dog Titan, an alert black and tan Belgian Malinois, moved beside him with silent precision. Jack wasn't expecting trouble. He had only come home for a surprise visit, hoping to take his mother out for breakfast. But he immediately sensed something was wrong. Titan stopped dead, ears pinned forward. Jack followed the dog's stare, and his heart nearly detonated in his chest. His mother, Martha Hale, was on the floor, trembling as she held her cheek. A massive man with greasy hair and a smug smile stood towering above her. Jack didn't breathe, didn't blink. He simply stepped forward. "Mom?" His voice was calm, too calm. The bully, known around town as Travis Boyd, turned slowly. "Oh, look," he sneered. "The old bat had reinforcements." Titan let out a low growl that made several customers flinch. Jack knelt, touching his mother's shoulder gently. "Did he hit you?" She tried to shake her head, but tears pooled in her eyes. "Jack, don't do anything foolish." Travis laughed out. "Yeah, listen to her, soldier boy. Sit down like everyone else before you find yourself on the floor, too." Jack rose to his full height. He wasn't huge, but he had that unmistakable military stillness, controlled, lethal, unreadable. Titan stood by his right leg, muscles coiled, waiting for one command. Jack said quietly, "Titan." The dog sat, but his eyes stayed locked on the bully like crosshairs. Jack stepped forward. "You're going to apologize to my mother." "Apologize?" He barked out a laugh. "To her? She bumped into me. I teach people respect." "You teach fear," Jack replied. "There's a difference." Travis puffed out his chest. "You must be the Navy son she keeps bragging about. What are you gonna do? Lecture me?" He poked Jack's chest with one thick finger. The diner gasped. Jack didn't react, not outwardly, but Titan rose to his feet again, the hair on his back standing like razors. Jack said quietly, "I'm giving you one chance. Walk away." The bully smirked. "Nah, I think I'll make you join her on the floor." But Jack had trained for moments just like this, in countries most people only see on maps. His hand shot up, catching Travis's wrist midair with absolute precision. With one twist, he forced the man down to his knees, pain ripping across the bully's face. Customers stood up, stunned. "Let go of me!" Travis howled. "That's up to Titan," Jack said softly. The Malinois stepped forward, baring his teeth, emitting a growl so deep that it felt like the walls vibrated. Travis froze instantly. Jack leaned closer. "You struck an elderly woman. You threw your weight around because you thought no one stronger than your ego would ever challenge you. But you forgot something." He tightened his grip. There's always someone better trained, more controlled, and far less afraid. Travis whimpered as Titan's growl deepened. Jack continued, louder this time, so every trembling customer could hear. Fear keeps people silent, but courage? Courage wakes up the entire room. That's when the diner manager, a petite woman named Nina, spoke up. He's been terrorizing us for years. No one stops him. We tried reporting him. He threatens anyone who tries. Travis hissed, "Shut up!" "Titan," Jack commanded. The dog lunged just close enough for Travis to feel the heat of his breath and collapse backward in panic. Jack didn't smile. "You will not threaten anyone again." Martha finally stood, leaning on a table. Her voice trembled. "Jack, that's enough." He looked at her, really looked at her, and softened instantly. This wasn't about revenge. This was about respect. About the woman who raised him, who sacrificed everything so he could serve. He released Travis's wrist and stood tall. "Get out," he ordered. "And the next time you even think of raising your hand to anyone, remember this moment." Travis scrambled to his feet, holding his twisted wrist. He staggered out the door, too shocked to speak. The diner remained silent until a teenage boy whispered, "Sir, thank you." Then the entire room erupted. Applause, relief, gratitude pouring from people who had been afraid for too long. Martha took Jack's arm. She said softly, "You didn't have to do all that." Jack looked at her, eyes warm. "Mom, you're my mission. You always were." Titan nudged her hand gently, as if agreeing. Customers approached, thanking Jack, petting Titan, telling him how much they wished they had stepped in earlier. One elderly man wiped a tear, saying, "You reminded us we don't have to let fear run our lives." Jack nodded. "Courage doesn't mean you're never scared. It means you act anyway." As they sat down together at a booth, Martha whispered, "Your father would be proud." Jack smiled, his hand resting on Titan's head. "I hope so." Outside, the morning sun warmed the quiet street. Inside, every person felt lighter, like a shadow had finally lifted from their lives. And the widow who had been knocked to the floor now sat tall, surrounded by a community no longer afraid, all because her son, the Navy SEAL she raised, had walked through that door at the exact right moment. This story touched millions of hearts. If it touched yours, let us know with a like, comment yes, and subscribe or follow for more amazing stories like this.